Hello, folks. This is Jay Dillon, my best friend here, Karen. We're here to talk to you about some information, questions your customers may have. So, welcome to Fingertip Tuesdays. This is a live session. If it's a replay, welcome to the replay. So, right off the bat, we can list a few questions. We can share some questions with you we get from customers on an ongoing basis relating to fingerprinting. The first question that I come across for us is, thanks for calling LiveScan. How much it costs for fingerprinting? We get that type of question all the time. So if you get that question yourself, what would you say? Carrie, that was you that called you and say, hey, thanks for calling LiveScan. They're going to say, how much does the LiveScan cost? What would you say?
I give them the price, and then normally they say, okay, can we move forward and book, or I'll call you back. And that's what they normally say. Normally, if you get the "I call you back," that means they're searching. They're
Yes,
not interested. So don't waste your time.
that is true. What I usually say is what city and state you're calling from, right off the back. And the reason for that is because they try to command or dominate the phone conversation, and it's not going to happen with this. So my point of view is, if you're going to ask us right off the back, ring ring, how much is the live scan? I'm going to say, I'm sorry, what city and state are you calling from? Put more on the defensive end, give them impression that you're a large organization. You could be. Make sure they understand that, and they tell you, okay, I'm from Los Angeles. Okay, great. What type of fingerprinting are you referring to? Well, it's a live scan. Okay, a live scan for what state? Now, you guys can say, well, they're calling from my state because I'm in Texas, I'm in California, I am in Florida, where the case may be, but they may not be in that state.
In that state.
Just because they found you online, that's a good thing because your authorization is working, but you may not be in that state. Or perhaps they may need a fingerprint and they live in your state next to where your office is at, but it's for a different state. So where are you calling from? Great. What's the purpose of the fingerprinting? It's for a job. Okay, I got you. I can feel you. I got your vibe right there. Now you said fingerprinting. So is it a live scan fingerprinting or ink card fingerprinting? Well, all I need is a background check for fingerprinting and a live scan. Okay, I understand that. In other words, they don't know. Next thing you should be asking, would you have any type of fingerprinting paperwork with you? That should help you clarify or figure out what they really need. If it's going to be an ink card or it's going to be a live scan for your particular state or is a live scan for a different state. You need to determine if you can help them or not at that time. Once you understand what they need to accommodate them, then you have to figure out, are they just shopping around like Carrie said? Or is a client near you and they just want to get the price real fast to be prepared when they come to you? What more experience they have, you get a vibe from what they want when they call you. It takes some time. So what we do most of the time, if we're not busy, it's okay we tell them this. Our machine is unavailable at this moment here. There's different government fees with different ORI numbers. Matter of fact, let me say that. Tell them it's different government fees with different government codes based on what type of life scan that you need. You may or may not know the price, but I'll tell them, I'm not sure the price is right now, but the machine's tied up. When it comes available, I could go ahead and type in the system and give you the price. So call me back in X amount of time when the machine comes available, and I'll go ahead and look it up for you. This is if you have time. Now, you might be sitting right now next to your laptop, and it's looking at you too. Nobody's on the laptop, but you need to come across as professional where you don't have time to stop what you're doing every 10 seconds to answer that question. How much does your live scan cost? Because they're really shopping around. So if they call back, you'll say, oh, look, the machine just came available. Then you stop what you're doing and look it up. That means that they are a customer who's coming to your location. Now, I'm taking this perspective as if we get a lot of calls a day. Actually, we get a lot of calls ourselves for a day, but if you get a lot of calls yourself, you can't stop being productive to get that busy phone call with the question, how much is a live scan? You need to figure out how to manage your workflow and go from there.
Right.
Now, if you got nothing going on, you're available to get the price and you know it, and they come straight to you, that's fine. But try to quit wasting time trying to give a price where you know they're just shopping around. They will travel 100 miles to save $5. They will argue with you. Well, online the print says it's only $20. Okay, great. Where they located at? Well, they're in Bakersfield. I said, man, we're in LA. Go ahead and go to Bakersfield and get the $20. That's a good deal. Well, that's too far. Understood. You want the website to schedule your appointment, and I just go straight back for the close.
Yeah.
Okay. But always find out what they need, and just don't assume they're gonna come to your location because you give them a price. Back in
Yeah.
days, we did that. We gave them the price. The government fee is this. The rolling fee is this. The credit card processing fee is this. They ran away.
Right.
If you do give them a price, just give them one price. Don't break it down. To give them the one price, give it to them. And once you give them the price, they'll say, okay, then now you can come in now. We have spots available now, or you have them schedule online. But don't wait for them to tell you. No, don't give that vibe.
Yeah.
Just assume they're going to come to you.
And just to piggyback off that, like on the mobile side, what I
Mm.
normally do is I have a price. It's built in with general for all RI numbers, and as well as my fee as well. So when you call me, I may tell you it's $250, which includes your fees for your ORI state fees, as well as for my service fees and traveling costs. It's $250 out the door, and that's for a live scan. Now if you're doing an ink card, that's a totally separate charge. I'm sorry, I'm getting feedback.
Are you?
And
It's kind of weird. Okay.
and if you are doing a ink card, then that will be a totally different price, and I give you a total set price for the ink card service as well. So therefore, I don't have time because to sit there and look up five different ORI numbers and say, well, this is for your real estate is 3750, for your license fees for nursing is $67. I don't have time to do that. So I came up with a method that would eliminate me and save me time for us on the mobile side to give you a price to which you would include everything. And that for there, it kind of like helps me from sitting there wasting time, putting everything into saying, well, this is this much, this is that much, it's all included. Can I book your appointment?
True.
And I found, it works good in my case.
Now, for the live scan fees, folks, these government fees may vary based off the ORI number for your particular state, but it's different government fees for a same type of license in a different state. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
All right. Another question we get here from time to time, well, a lot, to be honest with you. How long does it take to get fingerprinted? Now, you may think one thing what they're asking, but they may think something else. So when they say, how long does it take to get fingerprinted, are they talking about how long it's going to take you to fingerprint them at your location? Or are they referring to how long it's going to take to get the background check once you get them fingerprinted? So you need to clarify that question, because they may think one thing, they might say one thing, but thinking something else. So we tell them, okay, typically for us, it might take us 10 to 15 minutes to fingerprint you, then we get you out the door. We'll fingerprint you, take your picture, then we kick out the smile on your face, about 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, okay, that's great, but how long does it take to get my background check done? And that's a very important question. We get those a lot. So, Carrie, if they ask you that question, what would you say? How long does it take to
I
get fingerprint, or how long does it take to get my background check done?
if for me to fingerprint you, I tell them it takes me 15 to 20 minutes. That's not the issue. The issue is I cannot give you a correct answer as to how poor the state is for as are they backed up? Are they closed for the holidays? It could be a multitudes of things. Their system could be down. But I can only show you that once I complete my end and show you that the transmitter has been submitted in successfully, that it can normally take 2 to 5 business days. So if that will fit with your time schedule, then fine. After 5 days, if you have not received it, then you can call me and I can help you to try to find out what the problem is. But you have to wait at least 5 business days because
Okay,
anything can happen.
that's a good number. I typically tell them I take them 2 to 3 days, typically take 2 to 3 days on average to get the background checks completed by the states. And the reason why, um, here, echo there all of a sudden. And the reason why, because some agencies will take 1 day to get the background check done, while different agencies may take 2 or 3 days to get background check done or more. Sometime here in California, it may take them over 30 days. And what would happen is we'll call the employer and say, hey, they get the job yet? And they say, no, we didn't get the background check done yet. It's not, we're waiting for the results. That technician will get blamed for that. They'll go ahead and say, no, contact your licensing provider. Perhaps they messed up. In most cases, that's not the truth. That just means the background check is still in process. And the agency, if it's more than 30 days, that requesting agency should contact the government entity that does the background checks. For example, for California, it's DOJ. So I'm going to be a teacher waiting for a teacher credentialing license to be more than 30 days for background check to be complete. I'm supposed to contact my licensing board, and they're supposed to contact the state entity to see what's going on. But in the real world, they contact and call you and try to blame you, saying, hey, it's not done yet. I want my money back. Hey, it's not done yet. I didn't get the job yet. Hey, it's not done yet. What did you do wrong, Mr. and Mrs. Fingerprint Technician?
Yeah, and what I normally do also is here in the state of Florida, before I leave a client's home or business, I provide them the website because I give them a TCN number once the transaction is completed. And I provide them a website and I actually show them how to use the website with their TCN number to go on the website and get the status of their report. So therefore they can see themselves, is it in progress? It's been processed, is it completed, or whatever the case may be. And also, it provides them a 1-800 number as well. And also, I teach them with the TCN number what those first 6 digits mean. Those first digits identify me as a provider, as the one who took the actual prints. So therefore, they can contact the Florida Department of Health to get a status. They know who provided it, and then therefore they have the full TCN number to see the process of their prints. Has it been completed? Is it still in the process of being, worked on?
Okay, I got that makes sense.
And that eliminates phone calls too, because people are anxious, people want to move on. But if you give them the necessary information so that they can do things for themselves and it's correct and they see it, they'll eliminate them calling you saying, well, where's my results?
I hear you there. That makes sense. It really does. Is that somebody, man? Oh, somebody's tripping with the doorbell, man. They might put their speaker in though. I can hear them like an echo sound on their end. Yep, not sure who that is, man.
Ah,
Yep. If you can hear us, at least it's fine, but there's the feedback. So you might put your earpiece in because it's a feedback. Or
ready to put your earpiece in.
yeah, but you're there. Okay, folks, she was kicking down that door. I can tell you that. She was pushing that button, pushing that button. Okay, folks, she'll be back in a few seconds. There, she just get an earpiece in. But what I'd like to do now, bring up another question here from time to time about this, and this is a good one here. Where did it run away to? And it's about can you speak Spanish? Or they call sometimes, hi, can you speak Spanish? Can you speak Tagalog, whatever the case may be? Because perhaps the English is not that good. So what they're really asking for, hey, there's somebody there I could talk to that could speak the language I'm comfortable in. Now, if you can speak more than one language, that's a good thing. Very good thing. But if you only speak one language, say, for example, English, and someone's calling you want to speak in Spanish, you need to find yourself somebody you could contact pretty fast or chance to call to them that could speak Spanish. You might not lose that customer in the long run. You might lose them for that particular light skin, but you found this resource they could work with, who could go ahead and accommodate that client for you. So I'm trying to say is just because you can't speak more than one language, you still could fingerprint them if they understand you, but if they don't, they go in some other place. But if they contact you and you're from a different location within your network, they keep calling you all the time. Because the other party at a different location may send people to you now in exchange. We have a very prominent light scan place down the street from us called a UPS store. We share clients all the time, back and forth. If they're too busy doing this, they send them to us, or vice versa. So us is the same network. That's just how we do it. That is how we do it there. It should take a long time to get back, man. Shoot. We had to get her taken care of there, but you know she ain't playing around there. But she, Arlita needs some good things there. I think we should give her some drum roll though, man. Like, give her some drum roll. Let's bring her on board here.
All right.
All right.
Hi, Rita.
She's here.
Hey,
How you
hi,
doing, Alita?
everybody. I'm good. What
All
y'all
right.
got going on here?
And we talking about questions and stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm
And
sure
folks,
you
I got my
guys
Big
know
J
the
cup
answer.
right now. I'm just perpetrating.
Ah,
It's just a list of questions we get from customers for those who join in also, or as a repeat. And the last question we just had is, when they call you sometime, they want to know, can you speak a different language? And what do you do when that happens?
oh, you asking me? So we have a few things. I actually have a few people available to translate for me. Even my ladies at the front desk are bilingual. So they'll help me. We use a translator, and then I'll text the person and let them know that we don't have someone on site to speak with them, but we can text via Spanish. So we try to cover all the bases to the best of our ability.
That's pretty smart. So I got a question for you guys. Say you got someone to go ahead and get the call for you, and they spoke in different language, and they come to your location, and now you can't speak to them because it's two different languages. What would you do?
So what I normally do is I do take the appointment after they've spoken with someone who speaks Spanish and understand. I have several people that I can, reach out to whether they're on site or not, that we'll do a conference call so they can answer those questions for me. And then if that person is not going to be available the day of their appointment, the person that's translating for me lets them know can they bring someone who does speak English to be able to help with the, appointment and to be able to communicate with them. And then they let us know, they know basic. Some people understand what you're saying, they just can't speak back to you. So they let us know the circumstances. I haven't ran into a situation in 5 years that, like, oh my goodness, so what am I gonna do?
We cheated.
What you
How
do?
about you, Carrie? What would you do if a client comes to you to fingerprint, but they speak a different language? And you cannot.
Telephone.
Okay, you're getting warm.
App.
There you go. Apps. That's
App.
right. We have two different
Translate.
type of apps we use ourselves. Yep.
Yeah.
And they
The
got theirs
translator
out.
app comes in handy,
Mhm.
big time.
It's your Star Trek communication device. You speak in one language, it says something in a different language, which is pretty good. Another question here for you folks here, we get this from time to time, is where did it go here? It ran away, pull it right back up here. And it's, can I get a copy of my fingerprints? So they think sometime when you come to them and you fingerprint them, they may actually think, okay, you fingerprint me, I paid you for the service. You sent them out to Florida Department of Law Enforcement, I want a copy of my fingerprints too. What would you do? What would you say?
I believe setting a proper expectation from regardless if they're calling, and when they start asking those type of questions, let them know what our role is, what our process is, and how they will proceed. And then does that make sense? Get them to give you a yes, confirming that they understood what you just said, because it's not what you said, it's what they heard you say.
That's right.
And so that's one way. Another way is we have a process from the time they come. I call it my intake process. I confirm what they're here for, And in some instances, you can tell those people are a little confused or whatever. That's the moment to make sure we're all on the same page. And then some people, they'll go, yeah, 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 and get you back in. We refer to it as our lab. We fingerprint them, and everything's good. And we do something called a button up. So we recap, make sure they don't have any questions. I have all these little, depending on the service, I have like little reminders. I make little takeaways for them, bullet points, down to sharing their TCN number if it's a Florida, if it's an FBI, you know, what to expect. And do they have any questions? When they leave, they say no. I make sure I note each interaction. So that way I have had, well, that guy told me that I was gonna blah, blah, blah. And so I hit him with, okay, sir, because I wasn't there, that's not the normal process, but what I can do is go listen to the call. Then they say, well, he didn't say this. So it holds them accountable, so they backtrack because it's not on the call. And I can share that call with you. So that way it's not your word against our word. Also, all of the steps and expectations are in their confirmation page.
Okay.
So I try to eliminate, I over communicate because there's really no room for gray areas. People need this to be done right. They need us competent. They need us aware. They need us knowledgeable. And it's our responsibility to make sure that we're setting proper expectations on what our role is. And where we don't practice giving them advice as far as their agency, we direct them back and give them some probing questions to ask their agency to possibly get the answer that they need if they seem a little confused. So yeah, I don't know. That's what we do.
But if they come to you and say, no, you fingerprint me, can't get my fingerprints to go home, take them with me, like in a doggy bag or something. Can't get my fingerprints, can you print out my fingerprints right now? They get asked the question from time to time. What would you tell them then?
So if they did the electronic, I just remind them of what we discussed at their appointment and what's in their confirmation as well as on our website. If they do ink cards, I recap and remind them that we capture those prints and handed them directly to them so we don't have those prints on file.
Good.
So effective communication is key.
That's cool. Carrie, what would you say? I'm calling you. I'll say, hey, you fingerprint me last month. I got a different job now. Do I have to get fingerprint again? Can I pick up my fingerprints and take it to my next job? Or can I pick up my fingerprints and I can mail them to a different state? What would you say for a question like that?
Well, it's basically like what Rita was saying is, because if it's a live scan, first of all, when you go over everything from the beginning, you let them know it's a live scan. You let them know that the document, that the scan itself is being forwarded to the state, and you really don't have a paper copy of that scan. You know, and for if it's an ink card, you basically once the print has been taken, it has been reviewed, and to the best of my knowledge, it has already been satisfied to my satisfaction that these are good prints. Those fingerprints are given to you immediately because they're your prints. You know, so that's what separates the two in my world. You know, if you do a live scan, it goes right into the state. If you require a second set of print for another job or other thing like that, I have to charge you a reprint. And it's the same as you knock on my door for the very first time. I don't, you know, if it's not a mistake on my company's behalf, then we charge you the full price.
But you just fingerprinted me and you can't use the same prints for a different background check? Why are you ripping me off?
I'm not ripping you off.
I saw a YouTube video with somebody named Buckwheat, and they said I could go one place, get fingerprinted, use the same prints for the next 10 years. Buckwheat ain't. He's telling the truth because it's on YouTube.
Buckwheat is right down the street. Have a nice day. Matter of fact, I think if you go down there and make a left, you may find it. But that's just the way how we operate here. Everything is laid out, like we said on the website. Our refund policy, our cancellation policy, everything is in black and white from the beginning. Before I even set up, when I come to your home, me and you've already had a verbal conversation. I have a contract for you to sign when I get there, as well as your receipt. And it states on your receipt as well that this is a one-time transaction. Unless DocuPrint is responsible for the inaccuracy of your prints, that's the only way we'll be willing to reprint. Other than that, reprint is at your own cost. You may go to other places to get it, or if you call us, we'll be more than happy to come back out and redo it, but it will be at full price.
Understood.
There are instances where if it's within 30 days, possibly being able to reach out to the channeler to see if they still have them on file. Before they leave our office, we let them know if it's a live scan, who their processor is, because we don't use the term channeler because that could be confusing.
That's
But
true.
the processor and the phone number there, that if they have any questions in regards to the actual report, that they can contact them. And but we don't promote, you can get new sets of prints, but because it has happened
Yeah,
where
that's true.
I can't find my report or blah, 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 and they are within a certain window of time. I do set the proper expectation. I can't guarantee, however, let me advocate for you and see what I can do to see if they even still have them, and if they can, just charge them an extra copy fee, if they qualify for that. But the proper expectation has already been set before they left my office.
Exactly.
So
And see,
it
like you
happens
say,
from time to time.
it's a little different from a company, from a business is their primary location than it is a mobile service, because
I agree.
you endure different costs. Because like if I run into that situation, whereas I have to come back, for instance, I have an appointment tomorrow that's 60 miles from my house, hour and a half drive. And when I leave from there, I don't want to have, if I have to come back, I don't want to endure that cost again, because there's tolls, there's gas, there's wear and
Oh,
tear, there's time, you know, and that's why I make sure that all my customers know exactly what they're requiring. I know I want to make sure that you have all the correct information, the correct ORI number. Do you know exactly what this ORI number is for?
Mm-hmm.
When I finish fingerprinting you, I'm going to provide you with FDLE website. Look up your TCN number. I'm going to explain to you what a TCN number is. I'm going to explain to you, making sure you get all 14 of those zeros in there, because if not, you won't find it. So I'm going to go over all these things with you and leave you in the proper position, so that if you do endure a problem, you know what steps to take. And the last alternative is for me to have to make another trip back to your locations. Because, like I said, I can't afford to go 60 miles again just for something because you feel like that is taking too long, or it wasn't something that was done incorrectly on our behalf while we
I,
was there.
if I heard the question correctly, you were saying a person got fingerprinted and they just wanted another copy. The good thing is, regardless if it's a brick or mortar or mobile, they're not getting it directly from us anyway. So again, if they're within that, let's say it's 2 weeks, or within 30 days, where I can't guarantee that your processor still have those prints on file, there is a chance to provide customer service and let them know I could possibly print it and it's going to go to their email. It's not something that they will, because we're talking about live scan. We're not talking about ink cards, of course. That's an in-person situation. But if it's live scan, if I can provide customer service, because see, this is where it sets you apart from the other people down the street. Nope, that's your problem, pay again. Versus if there's anything I can do, all of us will love someone to go out of their way to try. And if you can't, a lot of us logical people can accept that you couldn't, but at least you did try, and we just thank you so much. And we're gonna think about you the next time because you did try, and I know it was my fault, but you went out of your way to see if you could avoid me an inconvenience. We try to practice that here, so in that instance, you wouldn't have to go to them. This is a matter of a phone call and connecting them to the channeler to get that email.
That's true. Now, folks who's listening to this here, Alita's had one particular situation that I know what she's referring to, but this doesn't apply to the majority of people who's watching this video right now. She mentioned 30 days. That's a particular type of background check, not coming for other states. This is a high-level background check for specific reasons she has access to, and hopefully down the line carry too. But for Florida, for example, the prints are kept in the background check results are kept in the system for about, I think, 6 months for Florida. So they contact you, say, you know what, I need my prints done again because the job never got my background check. You might verify it's done, but they might tell her it's not done, or might tell him it's not done. They should contact that state law enforcement entity that's in charge of the live scans, and they may be able to transmit those fingerprint results or those background check findings, I should say, to requesting agency. Whereas like in California, they may be able to retransmit those results again. Actually, no, in California after 30 days, they can't get the results. They most likely start again, or they have to work directly with the Department of Justice for California. So each state is different. Now, if a person comes to you and say, hey, is my print still in your system? Or at least it said 30 days, they might be, because most live scan devices keep the prints in the system, and perhaps they may be able to print those out on the ink card if you get the right software. But keep this in mind, you're not supposed to reproduce the same prints for a different background check once it's used by one particular entity. There are some programs out there that allow you to go back, look at the person who you fingerprinted 3 weeks ago, and it kept all those times they're retaking different fingers, kept all those fingerprints in history, and you're able to go back and click on the new fingerprints that you didn't send in to print those out if you get the right type of software. So there's things that can be done. Most cases it cannot be done if you get the wrong type of software, or you get the software that doesn't have all the extra bells and whistles. Very good. Very good.
If I may clarify, I think my thing is always the customer service. If I can, a phone call, just taking those few extra minutes, people appreciate. Again, I can't guarantee anything when it comes out, because correct, there's different types of live scan services, but they all, in most instances, you're dealing with a processor that if it's within a window of time, if I can give a little bit of hope, I want to try, even if it's not something available, at least I try, and I customer service my client, you know what I mean?
Good.
Because they know it's their fault. They know they took their time. They know they lost their paper,
That is true.
That's true.
Another question for you folks, and Carrie, you brought this up a while ago. You're saying that if you think the prints are good, you're good. You're fine. That's it. You felt the prints were good. But what if the client came to you, and asked you, why fingerprinting, are my prints good? Certain roll across the ink, across the card, across the glass. They're gonna look at you. Are my fingerprints okay? Are the fingerprints okay? Every single time. Are they okay? You sure there's a dot right there? Are they okay? Are they gonna go through? Is it gonna pass? What would you do in that situation?
Well, basically with an ink card, I don't review. I let them know that at the end of, once all the ink cards have been printed, then that will be the review stage time. We're not going to review each one as I go, because I will be there for the entire day. So basically, once the card is completed, and this completion of the ink card that needs to be done, then I will review them and let them, because most of the time when before I even start to fingerprint, I give a customer an idea of what I'm looking for in a print. I basically show them my finger and show them basically, the sweet levels that I'm looking for in a print, which is the top of here, right below the cut, the slit in your finger. Not so much as the tip, because people they want to roll on the tip. They want to try to take the finger, and instead of letting you guide it, they want to guide it and things of that nature there. And if you
Yes.
start inspecting your work, each finger as you go, you'll be there for, like I say, all day. So
Yep.
you explain the process to them from the beginning, how the stages are going to go. That way they're a little bit more comfortable. You're gonna get the job done better, and let them know. Don't be afraid. If it's not perfect, that's why we're here. We can put a retap sticker over it, or we can we'll do another card if it's need to be. Don't worry about that. Let's just get the ink on the card and then go from there.
Okay. Arlita, they're asking the same thing. They can actually, with my fingerprints, there's a line going through my fingerprint, look like a scratch, and my print's going to go through. What would you tell them?
So it's again back at the intake process. In the beginning, the intake dictates the entire appointment in my office. I can get a feel if this person has nervous energy, if they're flustered, if they're confused, are they chill, are they relaxed, are they off today? Do they got 50 million things and this is just one of the things on their checkbox? Getting a feel of that at the beginning and establishing my authority at the beginning, earning their confidence at the beginning. So by the time we get done with the whole intake process, washing their hands, confirming what they need, making eye contact, getting them in the lab, let them, as soon as they sit down, all right, you got one job, you get the hard job, you know what that is? And they like, what? I said, you gotta take one guess. And they like, what? I said, you gotta take one guess. They're like, what? Rolling it and making sure it's in the box? I said, nope. Relaxing. That's harder for some people than others. So the more you relax, the greater I can be. So, and then so we just go from there establishing, I need you to relax. I got this for the next 20 minutes. You just chill out and be a big deal. And we'll set their hands. If I'm concerned about anything, we actually I teach my team, put ink on it and roll it on a piece of paper just so you can have a proper course of action so we can do offense and defense, right?
Good.
So we're not practicing as we go. So in the event, do you think this is okay? I'm like, yep, you good. I said, I'm not gonna send you out here with anything I'm uncomfortable with, okay? So I just need you to relax. So then I changed the subject.
Okay.
So what was you talking about this? So just keep them conversating. They already know, don't look at this card. Just look away. Because we have go ahead.
What if you guys know the fingerprints ran away? They've been in the medical field for 100 years. They won't retire. They've been a physician, who knows how long, but the fingerprints ran away. What would you tell them then? Because you know the prints can get rejected. You just know they are. So what would you going to tell them?
I'm so excited. I've been waiting on you. We trained for you. Your fingerprints give me my superpower. If your fingerprints was like everybody else's, how great would that make me? But did you have a chance to read our reviews? No, or yes. Okay, well, we specialize in special circumstances. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take the best possible print. Anything that I'm uncomfortable with, we'll fix at the end. And then I'm also going to, we have something called a quality of prints form. It doesn't guarantee anything, but it does give some insight to what took place during your session. It does help, and so I just need you to relax and let me go ahead and do what I do, and let's work as a team. Can you relax and just let me be great? Yes, ma'am. And
That
just
was good. That was
establish
good. I'm sorry.
confidence at
Let
the
me give you
beginning.
claps for that one there. That was good. That was good.
I've
That
actually
was
had
good.
people come in crying. They had a stroke. One lady had a stroke,
Mm-hmm.
and her hand shook, and she couldn't. Now they'll get straight if we straighten it, but she couldn't straighten it. And whoever she went to prior to us was so mean to her.
Yes.
And I wish I could go and
Wow.
slap them, but I let her know, they wasn't prepared for you. As I said, for a fingerprinting technician, yeah, it's an ideal situation, but it's certain things we get excited about because now we get to put on our cape.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I established that type of dialogue, and you go check my reviews right now, the lady went to 3 places before she got to us and never went anywhere, and she's probably been to us 4 times now.
Wow, that's good. They do check the reviews.
Yep.
We catching up. We got like 500 more to catch up to you guys. So we catching up, okay?
We're aiming at 1,000 right
Yeah,
now.
we catching up to we got like 800 more to go. Then we gonna get you. Give us one more day. We get there.
Come on with it. Come on. It's room for all of us.
Oh, we have more questions to share with you guys here, but catch us on the next session for next week for Fingertip Tuesday for more great questions and more good answers for you guys. Carrie and Arletha, thank you for joining us today. I got a couple of things to share with folks in closing. Be safe, have fun, get in trouble, but don't.
Get caught.
That's right. Don't get caught, folks. Bye for now. Take care, folks.
All right.
And